So for this discussion, we will discuss about derivatives, mostly with the concept of derivatives. So meron tayong curve, which is the blue curve in here. So this is a curve of a function. And kumuha tayo ng dalawang points, which we have P1 and P2. So for P1, we have x1 and y1. And for P2, we have x2, y2. So connecting these 2 points with a straight line, so this one, itong line na to, is that this line, we call this is the second line. And getting the slope of this second line, which is slope that is equal to the rise over the run. So yung rise natin, kung yan yung height vertically between yung P1 and P2, which is that is y2 minus y1. So we have y2 minus y1. So yung run naman is yung distance between tong dalawang points, which is x2 minus x1. So let's change yung mga y natin into a function, which is also gawin natin yung y1 as f of x, but itong x naman gawin lang natin siyang x lang, walang sub 1. And changing that, tong change between tong dalawang points na to, yung horizontal distance nila, so let's say that is delta x, or sometimes they are indicating that as h. So kung sa point 1 we have x dito, so sa point 2 naman magiging x plus yung h, or sometimes x plus yung delta x, or your change of x, pero gawin na lang natin h. So x plus h. So baguhin natin yung x2 dito, magiging x plus h, while yung y2 kanina magiging f of x plus h, para maging function notation siya. And by changing that, so mag-iba rin ito, slope natin, yung formula ng slope. So magiging yung y2 kanina is already f of x plus h, and then minus yung y1, which is at this point siya na ay f of x. So all over yung x2 natin, so yung x2 here is x plus h na siya, then minus yung x1, which is yung x. So simplifying yung denominator, we have x minus x, so magka-cancel out lang yung dalawang x, magiging h lang yung denominator. So for the numerator, is still f of x plus h, then minus f of x. So this is all over h, and this one would be the formula for the slope of this second line. So yung derivative natin, so meron siyang formula, which is the derivative of a function that is equal to the limits of the slope of the second as the h approaches 0. So as yung point P kasi approaching yung point 1 natin, yung h dito, or yung delta x, or the change of x natin ay liliit siya. So mag up to the point na yung point 2 and point 1 ay isang point na lang, like this one. So ito na lang yung point natin. So yung h natin dito would be equals to 0. So approaching siya, yung P2 natin approaching yung P1, so magiging yung h natin also approaches 0. And yung line naman nito, so wala na, hindi na siya 2 points, isang point na lang yung tinatouch niya with our curve, meaning this line is what we call the tangent line. So, yung definition kanina ng derivative, so we have the slope of the tangent. So, tangent line. So, this would be equal to the limit of yung slope ng ating secant. So, ito yung secant. So, this is the slope of the secant line. So, itong f of x plus h. So, minus f of x. So, this is all over h as h approaches 0. So, itong definition na to, this is also the definition of the derivative, which is dy over dx. And that is the slope of the tangent. So, this is also equal to the limit of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h as h approaches 0. So, ito yung definition ng ating derivative. So, we can use, we can determine the derivative using this definition of derivative. So, meron pang mas easy na methods or basic formulas, pero we will discuss the next topic. So, ito muna yung gamitin natin to get the derivative of the function. So, meron tayong example dito. So, in our example, sabi niya, determine the derivative of the following. Or sometimes, kung kinuha natin yung derivative of this function, we are also getting the slope of the tangent of that curve. So, we have, for number 1, we have f of x is equal to x squared minus 2. So, yung formula natin, kailangan natin yung f of x plus h at saka f of x, which yung f of x dito is also, eto na, yung x squared minus 2, pero wala pa tayong f of x plus h. So, kunin muna natin yun. So, we have f of x plus h. So, from our function, so yung discussion sa function, so yung x plus h natin, substitute natin siya to all variable x dito sa f of x natin na function. So, yung instead na x squared na dito, magiging x plus h squared na siya. So, minus 2. So, since wala naman siyang kasamang x dito, so 2 lang yan. And this would be your f of x plus h. Or kung i-expand natin to, so we have x squared plus twice. So, multiply this to x times h. Then, plus square yung h. And then, ito, minus 2. So, ito na yung f of x plus h natin, which we will substitute dito sa formulang ito. So, getting the derivative, so we have f prime of x. So, that would be equal to yung f of x plus h, which is ito siya. We have x squared plus 2x times h plus h squared minus 2. Kulang pa. So, minus natin yung f of x. So, that is x squared minus 2. So, this is all over yung h. Nakalimutan ko yung limit. So, limit of this function. So, we have limit of this one as h approaches 0. So, we have to simplify first. Ito, kasi pag kukunin na natin yung limit dito, magiging indeterminate siya. Kasi 0 yung magiging result dito. And, to simplify, so meron tayo dito, we have x minus x. So, magiging x squared minus x squared. So, 0 din yan. We also have negative 2 minus negative 2. So, that is magiging positive 2 ito. Kaya, negative 2 plus 2 is 0 din. So rewriting that, we have limit of, so we have 2xh plus h squared. So magiging 0 na yan, divided by h as h approaches 0. So dito sa numerator, we have a common factor which is yung h. So factor out that one. So we have the limit of h. So multiplied by yung dito. So 2x h divided by h, magiging 2x lang yan. So plus, ito naman, ilabas natin yung isang h. So h na lang yan. So divided by h as h approaches 0. So yung h dito and h for that magka-cancel out. So yung natira na lang would be the limit of 2x plus h as h approaches 0. And substituting yung 0 ay yung h natin as 0. So dito, so yung h dito will become 0. Ang matitira lang would be 2x. And this would be the first derivative of the function x squared minus 2. So ito na yung sagot. And that is also the formula ng ating slope of the tangent. So kung meron kang i-input na points, like your point would be 1, 0 or anything, basta value ng x, dito makakakuha ka ng isa pang point or yung slope natin. So substituting that. So for number 2, so we have the function y is equal to the square root of x plus 1. So this is also your f of x. So that is also equal to x plus square root of x plus 1. So yung f of x plus h natin would be equal to the square root of x plus h plus 1. And from yung formula ng derivative kanina, which is ito, we have the dy over dx that would be equal to the limit of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h as h approaches 0. So substituting yung mga values ng f of x natin, and we also have f of x plus h. So we will have the limit of, so yung f of x plus h natin would be the square root of x plus h plus 1 minus yung f of x, which is ito siya, square root of x plus 1. So this is all over h as h approaches 0. So again, you cannot directly substitute na naman yung 0 sa mga h kasi sa denominator magiging 0 yan and magiging indeterminate siya. So we have to simplify first itong equation natin. So now we have to multiply this equation or itong function na to by the complement of the numerator, which is x plus h plus 1. So since minus ito, so magiging plus siya. So plus square root of x plus 1. So kung nag-multiply ka dito ng this one, square root of x plus h plus 1 plus square root of x plus 1, we also have to multiply yung denominator with the same x plus h plus 1, so square root nyan, plus square root of x plus 1. So parang nagmultiply lang tayo ng 1 for that. So from dun sa pre-calculus ninyo, we have yung special product, which is we have a plus b multiplied by a minus b. So this will result to a squared minus b squared, which is, this one is also yung dun sa numerator natin, where our a dito would be square root of x plus h plus 1, and yung b naman, that is square root of x plus 1. So simplifying the equation, so we have the limit. So, square natin to, which is, pag in-square natin tong square root, magka-cancel out lang sila. Ang matitira would be x plus h plus 1. Then, dito, so minus. Square din natin yung b. So, cancel out ulit yung square root. So, yung matitira would be x plus 1. So, dito sa baba would be h multiplied by, so we have square root of x plus h plus 1 and then plus the square root of x plus 1. So as h approaches 0. So makikita natin dito that yung x natin will cancel out kasi x minus x siya. And then we have 1 minus 1. So yung matitira sa numerator would be h. So we have h. So dito sa baba would be h multiplied by x plus h plus 1. So plus the square root of x plus 1. So, magka-cancel out tong h and h. So, this will be limit. So, denominator. So, x plus h plus 1. So, plus x plus 1. So, as h approaches 0. So, substituting yung lahat ng h with 0. So, this will become 0. So, yung matitira would be the square root of x plus 1. So, plus the square root of x plus 1. So, alam natin na meron tayong invisible 1 dito and invisible 1. So, from the rule of the radicals, so kung pareho na itong nasa loob ng ating radical, which is, they are the same, square root of x plus 1. So, pag mag-add na lang tong dalawang to, which is 1 plus 1. So, this would be equal to the 1 all over 2 square root of x plus 1. And ito na yung derivative ng ating function y, which is, this will be dy over dx. So, for example number 3, so, meron tayong g of x. So, function of g of x is equal to 1 over x squared. So, again, gamitin natin yung definition ng ating derivative, which is this one. So, we have, so, since f of x itong nakikita natin, this is also the same sa g of x. So, change lang natin yung f with g. So, parehas lang naman din yan. Because they are just functions. So, label lang ng function natin yan. So, meron tayong g of x as 1 over x squared, pero yung g of x plus h natin, so we have to get that. Substitute lang natin yung x plus h dito sa x squared. So, yung g of x plus h would be equal to 1 all over x plus h squared. So, substitute natin siya dito. So, magiging g prime of x, or that is the first derivative of g of x. So, this is equal to, so, yung g of x plus h natin, which is eto siya. So, we have x squared. So, that is 1 over x plus h squared. So, minus yung g of x, which is 1 over x squared. So, this is all over over h. Again, you also have to write yung limit. So we have the limit of that as h approaches 0. So we have to simplify again itong equation natin before we substitute yung 0 sa h. So getting this common denominator dito sa taas. So sa numerator lang tayo mag-focus. So multiply natin tong numerator with x squared multiplied by x plus h squared. So this is all over. So same. So x squared times x plus h squared. So cancel out lang man to kasi this is also equal to 1. So multiplying ito. So yung x squared times x plus h squared with 1 over x plus h squared. So magka-cancel out lang tong x plus h squared natin and x plus h squared dito. So yung matitira, so that would be x squared. So minus ito naman, so x squared, then yung x squared magka-cancel out. Ito lang yung matitira, x plus h squared. Sa denominator naman, just copy itong least common denominator nila na x squared plus multiplied pala. Multiplied by x plus h squared. So all over h as h approaches 0. Again, we have to simplify ulit kasi meron pa tayong h dito sa denominator. So yung goal dito is to remove that h dito sa denominator para hindi maging 0 or indeterminate yung ating limit. So we have limit. So dito sa taas, so magiging x squared yan. Then expand natin tong x plus h squared which is minus. So x squared. So plus, so x times h, twice of that, x times h, then plus h squared. So all over h, multiply natin to, x squared times x plus h squared. So we have x plus h squared. So dito sa numerator, so we will have x squared minus x. So yung matitira would be ito lang siya. Pero don't forget to distribute yung negative dito. So this will become the limit of, so negative of 2x h. So again, negative times ito. So minus h squared. So all over h times x squared multiplied by x plus h squared. So again, sa numerator, common factor nila yung h. So we can factor that out. So this is h multiplied by the negative 2x. So minus h all over yung h multiplied by x squared times x plus h squared as h approaches 0. So cancel out ulit ito. And so we have the limit of negative 2x minus h all over x squared times x plus h squared as h approaches 0. So substituting yung 0 to all h, so variable h dito. So So, sa numerator, ang matitira will be negative 2x. And then, sa denominator, we have x plus 0 naman to. So, kaya magiging x squared lang. So, x squared times x squared, we have x raised to 4. So, simplifying this, so cancel natin yung isang x dito and we also yung isang x dyan. So, this would become negative 2 all over x raised to 3. And ito na yung derivative of the function g of x. So, ganyan yung paano gamitin yung definition or yung formula ng ating derivative, which is ito, dy over dx is equal to the limit of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h as h approaches 0. So, pwede siyang gamitin to any of the function na pwedeng given function to get the derivative or the slope of the tangent.